Katja again, coming to you from my kitchen at home. I'm the FoodCorps Service Member with Harlem Grown, and I'm going to do a couple of kitchen tips today. So today we're going to continue talking a bit about some knife skills, specifically how to dice onions. You can cut onions however you want, it's just up to you, but I'm just going to show you the way that I do it that I think is nice and easy, nice and fast. Here's my setup for today. I have my bowl for putting any food scraps in that I can later compost, my knife, my cutting board, the pad so it doesn't slip around, and my onion. So if you guys remember from last time, I'm going to pinch my knife here, holding just like a nice grip along here, pinching on the top. I'm going to do my little claw, and I'm going to take the root of the onion off, because we don't need that. Putting any of these scraps in here. Taking the top of the onion off as well. And I'm going to take my onion skin off, however you like to do it. Just going to peel this guy. Cool. And then it's hard to cut an onion when it's like round like this, so I always will just cut it in half to get a flat surface. And I'll work with each one half at a time. So as a lot of people know, cutting onions can make you cry. There's like a compound in the onions that will irritate your eyes. One way of stopping that is apparently to chew gum when you're cutting. I've never tried that because you're not allowed to chew gum in the restaurant kitchen. But the other way is to make sure you have a really sharp knife. The duller your knife is and the more you kind of like press into the onion rather than cut into the onion, the more of that chemical it'll release and the more you'll end up crying. First cut I'm going to make is going to be parallel to the cutting board itself. So what I'm doing, just to show you the aerial view of it, I'm going to cut like this, here and here, along the onion. And you'll see why that is in a second. Right. Next step I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this way. So I'm going to cut down the onion. It's a little harder to do your claw and saw here, so just whatever works for you. But make sure you're keeping your fingers away from that knife. And then the other thing that I like to do that I actually forgot is I have another bowl that I use to put the finished ingredients in when I'm done cutting. So you guys saw I sliced up this way and then I sliced down, and now I'm going to slice across. So there's 3 different types of cuts and it'll produce the dice that you want. So I'm back to using my claw to guide the knife. Alright, so you can see that way when you finish cutting your onion, you already have these like nice even diced pieces, and you want to try to get even pieces of your vegetables and whatever you're cooking so that they'll all cook at the same time and you won't have some little pieces kind of burning earlier while the bigger chunks don't cook at all. So that's just the fun tip for today for how to cut your onions. If there's any way that you like to do it, feel free to share with Harlem Grown. And then I just do my scoop, dump in here. You can also just take your whole cutting board and slide everything on in. Nice. So that was our kind of short kitchen tip for the day, but I hope it's helpful for you when you're cutting your onions and you're doing your home cooking. Onions are in tons of recipes. They are super delicious. Almost always when I cook with onions, before I add in my other ingredients, I'll start with the oil in my pan and I'll put the onions in, and I will do what's called sweating the onions, which releases a lot of the flavor from the onions. Instead of having them still have that like kind of crunchy consistency, they'll melt into your sauce, whatever you're making, really, really nicely. I hope everyone's doing well during this time, and I'm excited to see everyone on the farm again soon.